where there was a father who posted their child in the bathtub. It said underneath of it,
some people have had to have therapy after accidentally clicking on the wrong links.
Like, this is stuff you've seen like on Law and Order and stuff like that, yeah. But it's freaky. It like gives me chills thinking that it's like legit a real thing.
This website features a bunch of hitman network,
but I'm sure there's a ton of sites that no one knows about unless you know it.
and then have the kids be.
What is the dark web? Please tell us what it is and show us.
I wouldn't want to ever go on there. Hi guys, welcome to Not Today's Society. My name is Bonnie.
And I'm Pat, and we're going swimming into the deep, dark web. It sounds like swimming, like deep diving. We're taking a deep dive.
It's called the dark web.
We're going swimming. We're taking a deep dive into the dark web.
Oh, Lord.
Break my neck right there. Yeah, we got some videos about the dark web, which most people know about. The Silk Road, I think, was one of the first, maybe not the first, but I believe it's like what really got popular. So we got some creepy, so to say, TikToks about the dark web. Some are stories, some are explaining it, all different things. We're going to hop right into it. We've had lots of other content. A recent video of her arachnophobia, going crazy with spiders. We have scary reaction videos, breakdowns of stuff, conspiracy theories. We just love creating content. We love hearing from you guys, so be sure to subscribe if you're interested. Drop a comment, follow us on Instagram, and send us videos to react to and give our opinions on.
Subscribe.
Yes, please. Thank you. All right, let's dive into it. Dark Web series, video number 1. Let's go.
Not a lot is known about this following video. It's said that the woman in the video was hired from somewhere in South America to be a full-time housekeeper. However, it turned out that her thought-to-be employer actually took her in for darker reasons of his own. As it said, he was the owner of a page on the dark web with a webcam recording a room for a live stream where he would perform heinous acts on her. She was more or less turned into a slave by the man who contacted her, supposedly trapping and torturing her. She managed to lock herself into said room with the webcam, which you see on the screen, but there was no water and little food left in the room. He left the webcam on her 24/7 so he and other people could watch her on the live stream. At this point in the video, the woman writes a message on either side of a piece of cardboard. On the front she wrote, "I have food for 2 more days. There is no water." On the back she wrote, "Anybody gets to see this on the internet, come find me, help me." Shortly after, the video cuts ahead to the woman reacting to something behind the desk pinned up against the wall, very likely a door that she blocked with it. She grabs something sitting on the ground to use as a weapon against whoever is trying to break into the room, likely the same people who contacted her in the first place. Before we can see what happens next, the video ends. Nobody seems to know what happened next, or if this video is even real, but the woman's behavior and reactions just look too real, and if I had to guess, I would personally say it's real.
Oh, that's freaky.
Yeah, like you said, he doesn't know if it's real. So I've seen videos across the internet where people take like clips from a movie and they put it in, and they're like, people in the comments like, "Oh, that's from a movie, it's not real."
Yeah.
I don't know about this one. If you do know, just like the guy said there, but I do know that, like, I was trying to do a little bit of research about the dark web before recording this episode, so I was just kind of Googling a couple little things. I've personally never been on the dark web. I don't even know how to access it. I just kind of did a little bit of research, and there's all these weird ways you need to access it.
Yeah.
But apparently I've come across the non-dark web side, people talking about it, that there are rooms that literally people will pay to watch people get tortured and possibly even murdered and crazy stuff like that.
Like,
that
this is stuff you've seen like on
in movies.
Law and Order and stuff like that. Yeah, but
Movies,
it's freaky.
like,
It like gives me chills thinking that it's like legit a real thing.
Yeah. There's crazy
really
psychopaths, sociopaths, whatever you want to call them. There's crazy people in general out there. And the thing about the dark web, I believe it's also like very anonymous, like you're very hidden. It's almost like the cryptocurrency of the internet in the sense of like it's meant to be so it can't be traced to a degree, I believe. So yeah, that's creepy. Because there are rooms like that, I believe, from what I've read on the dark web. People can like hire people. It's disgusting. That's like disgusting. It's
so
like,
this girl got, thought she was getting a job or something, and
yeah,
they
someone
stuck her in
hired
a
her.
room.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you know if
God.
this is true and not a movie type of
clip or
thing, let us
something.
know. And if you know more about this, whatever you want to call it, whatever's going on, let us know if there's like an article out there about this. Let's see our next one.
Here are some of the worst things ever found on the dark web, part 1. This is why you should never send nudes. This is the story of Pink Meth. Despite the name, the website Pink Meth had nothing to do with drugs. Pink Meth was a market mainly for men where they would sell nude photos of their exes for a hefty amount of money. But that's not all. Pink Meth would then post these photos alongside the women's names, home addresses, phone numbers, and any other information the operators could dig up. Then a ransom on the content was delivered to the victim. They would tell all the females, pay up to have the photo removed or let the whole of the dark web have access to your personal information, including your nude photos. So never, ever send nudes. Pretty cool.
Not cool.
But
Definitely a good reason.
good
To the younger
information.
to the younger generation, because of the whole mobile phones, and so easy to access and just take photos, provocative photos, send it to people, and
That is crazy. So they would contact the girls and like ask for money, or oh my god.
they would gather like a bunch of personal information. And
Like
then
it's not even
contact
just
the
your
female.
image going out there. It's sending these psychopaths your address, where you are. Like that. It's so freaking creepy.
Yeah, it sounds like they'll gather all of that and then go to the girl and be like, "Give us X amount of money, or we will share it out to everyone."
They're
and then,
not well off. They can't give the money. Like it's not. I'm sure any woman would want to, but some people are not in the spot to pay money like that.
And then it's the thought of like, is it a scam? Because there are so many scams like that where it's like, we have your info, we know what you've been doing, we have this of you, we have proof that you did this. Give it like a lot of those are scams, but then there are times where it's real. So it's like you have, is it a scam? Is it real? And if it's real, it's like crap. That's just terrible when it's this type of real.
So insane. Yeah.
What is the dark web? Please tell us what it is and show us.
So the dark web can be good and it could be bad. So we're gonna show a couple different things. I'm gonna start with the hidden wiki, and then I'm gonna work my way through some sites that came from that source. This is called Tor, the Onion Router. The Onion Router is a way to anonymize yourself, but also allows you to visit websites like I'm showing in this screen recording with .onion, which is not a website you can visit on the clear web or your normal internet browser.
So is everything I'm looking at right now illegal?
It's not illegal to view, but it's illegal to purchase these things, of course. Here's just some PayPal accounts with balances that you could purchase for this price. So you could buy, let's say, a $1,356 PayPal account for 146 US dollars.
So whose money is the 1356?
It's a victim. Somebody stole that account.
Wow.
Whoa.
Freaking.
That's crazy, but now like I'm just thinking about that, almost like doesn't make sense. Not that it's good by any means, but I'm just thinking from the perspective of if someone has access to an account that's $1,300 and whatever dollars in it, you're selling it for 140. Obviously, that means you somehow cannot withdraw or take that 1,300. You would just take the 1,300. You're making a measly 140,
Unless
a
it's
tenth of the
someone
money.
that just likes to like get off on like
I don't,
scamming people. I don't know. There's people like that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The logic behind that one, I'm not following. If you understand how that works, let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy because I know you could, like, I've heard of the drugs on the dark web, the guns. I heard you could like hire people for murder and stuff.
Anything, yeah.
But
I'm sure
PayPal accounts, like that's so weird. Like
horrible things with kids and stuff. That's just.
Yeah, that's more like the other video. It's crazy.
But yeah, now that you say that, like, why?
Why would you? Yeah, it's like you would just take the 1,300 if you already have access to that account, if you already hacked it. But I know PayPal because I use PayPal in a lot of my businesses. You can't just withdraw the funds. You can send it to another PayPal account easily. So basically, it's kind of like if you have access to that account, send it to another one and then withdraw. That other one will be
Unless
your
these
own.
people just have, I don't know. That's
I don't
so
know.
weird.
I don't
Okay.
know. If you know that, I'm just trying to wrap, again, not that it's right or wrong. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the logic behind
Yeah.
that. I don't know. Lots of weird things on the dark web.
Worst videos found on the dark web. This video was posted anonymously on the dark web, so it's impossible to know more about it. In this video, we see a young girl or woman dancing. Well, if you can call it dancing. Look at the way she looks. It's really very strange. After doing my research, it seems to be a woman who has undergone several experiences. The end will surprise you. And look at this video. A father often found his room a mess when he came home, so he decided to put a camera in his room and discovered a frightening thing.
What? Oh my
I thought that was
God.
going to be a jump scare at the end, but nothing happened. Okay, so that was like 3 videos in one.
Well, the first portion of it, it just like
Looked like she had an
She had a-
abnormality,
yeah,
a
I
body
forget what-
dysfunction. I forget the verbiage
Yeah.
for like a body abnormality or whatever you want to
just
call.
yeah.
I don't know if that's.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything wrong. I
Yeah,
don't know what it's
I don't know the
called.
proper lingo, but you know what I'm saying when they have something wrong when they're born, or maybe something could
Yeah.
have happened to her even after she was born. I don't know, but it's like a body abnormality,
Yeah,
for lack of better words.
just for me.
The second one creeped me out. It looked like
Yeah.
some long, skinny figure crawled out from
was
like under the
freaky.
bed. The last one just looked like someone closing a door. I don't know.
No, that thing looks huge.
like the same.
was
Maybe
like
it was
the
the same. I think it was the same
Thing.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh.
same. Wow.
It's the second part was like the homeowner noticed it was always a
yeah.
mess or something,
That
and
that
then
was
saw like
creepy
set up
looking.
cameras. Like what the fuck? What the hell? Oh
That was weird.
God.
Before I ever caught a single predator in my life, this was the beginning. Should I read these? Like they're graphic.
Yeah, breed them.
So the title of this post is "Who wants to bang these little?" Somebody replied underneath, "I've got first dibs on the little middle," and this was the photo that they used.
Oh my God.
The story I told you about the bathtub situation where there was a father who posted their child in the bathtub. It said underneath of it, they have no idea what's going to happen to them tonight. And then underneath of that, there were people that were part of this website who were saying what they were going to do to this child. In our investigations, we found out there was a lot of actual kids on this website, real kids, that were under 18 at the time of this when I hacked the site.
What are they doing on there?
They're selling their bodies for money.
This was like going back before we were talking about kid thing. Like, I hate stuff like this. Like, this is like not even on, like in the sense of this is on the regular internet, I believe, or people in regular life who have like lots of money do these crazy things, and then you have the dark web, the dark net, or whatever you want to call
That
it,
is
deep web.
insane. It said the father took a picture of the kids in the bathtub
Disgusting. That is disgusting.
and said they don't know what's going to happen to them. That's insane.
But it seems like this guy, I just ran into him recently, like online. That particular gentleman,
hacker, right?
yeah, he's like what they call an ethical hacker. He might have not been as ethical in the beginning. Not that he did anything like this. I think he
Yeah.
was just like your typical hacker, and then he started becoming.
Well, he probably started
Pro
seeing like
hacker.
what is on the dark web and
Yes,
was like, what the fuck?
yes. And his conscience was just like, all right, I have the ability to make an impact and actually help and remove these sites, these people, and catch them or whatever. So that's kind of what he's been doing. So I'm going to look into him a little bit more because I love what this guy's doing just from what I've
Yeah.
come across a couple of his
Seems
videos.
like he takes like a lot of people down and stuff. Right?
Yeah. I think I saw another one where he was like going to take down a site or whatever.
Yeah.
It might be in this one. I really don't know. I've like seen a few. But it's just disgusting what is on the dark web. And I wish, I don't know, I wish the cops and the other folks, FBI, all those.
Why don't they focus on that? Is it just so much like they just keep going? Like they take down. Like,
they
did
took
they ever
down-
take down the Silk Road?
They did. And then there's always
and
like,
then they just another thing pops up.
yes,
pretty
it might not
much.
be as big and as whatever, but things will keep popping up. Like, it's the internet. Yeah. You could literally go home, go on your computer, make a website today. It could be taken down in a week. You just make another one. You change your IP. Like, technology is so crazy. That's why it took so long to find the guy who did the Silk Road. Like, you can make a site, but make it look like you're in a different country and you're running it. And then you have all these other people doing things. Like, I'm assuming they could take it down and someone's like, all right,
well, I think a
another
lot
one
of
will
it's
be
like,
up tomorrow.
I don't know all the verbiage, but like encrypted and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like where
And there's
they
all,
put
like-
so many walls up or whatever.
Yeah, and
so it's hard to get to.
And it's so anonymous. It's not like, I think, if you guys know, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's no like Google of the dark web. You need to know
what to do,
where to go. You need to know what he said, .onion. And there's like a wiki which gives you links, but I'm sure there's a ton of sites that no one knows about unless you know it. And guess what? If you know about that site and it's bad, and there's like 10 people who know about it, you're not telling anyone. It's until it gets leaked probably to someone like him who's like, okay, now I'm going to go push it to the FBI or I'm going to try doing it. That's the problem. Like, I'm literally spitballing as I'm talking out loud and thinking, but I'm almost thinking that there could be a site that only a small amount, let's say 10, 20 people know about. And since you don't know, that site isn't like searchable. You don't know it exists. It could be
well,
like...
yeah, we can't access any of that.
But not even that. It's just like you can't search it. Even someone who has access to the dark web, it could be like, I'm thinking, a long string of numbers and letters, .onion. And then the only people who know about it are the people who made it and that are making money off of selling it to people with a lot of money. And until it gets in front of the right eyes that are going to do something about it, I don't know. Is that right? Can that happen? I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm just talking out loud right now.
Well, I always thought it was like a lot bigger, like the dark web. I thought it was like, I don't know. I thought it was like a lot bigger. Like, yes, for the known public, we don't access it, but it's, people all over the world, I think,
I think anyone can access it. Like, I could probably go on my computer and download the Thor, and the Onion, the router thing, and hop on. But it's like, once you
still
do,
don't know what to do, right?
You might be able to go to that wiki page or whatever and see the main sites. But there's probably so many hidden sites that you will not know about unless you're invited, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking when I envision the dark web and like those really, 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 really bad sites. I'm imagining that you can't even find them unless you're invited. Just the way I'm thinking.
5 dark web websites that you'll wish you never saw. Number 5, the Hitman Guide. This website features a bunch of hitman networks that separates the real from the fake. The only reason I'm showing you this web page and not the other ones is because every time I show a real one, TikTok removes the video in under 5 minutes. The interesting thing about this website though is it tells you the average price per job. It says an average job costs anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000. Honestly, I thought it'd be more expensive. Number 4, the Clean Record. This website claims that they can remove any criminal record for as cheap as $600. Not only that, but you can purchase a college degree. They even state that the degrees work for almost any school in the world. You're probably wondering why this is in the list. If they can purchase any degree from any school, what makes you think your doctor is as qualified as you think he is? Number 3, the Hidden Message. This website isn't on the dark web, but it is definitely in my top 5. This website is some sort of puzzle that only very few people have been able to solve. Some people speculate that this website is some sort of ritual for spells or potions. Some other people believe that solving this grants you some sort of superpower. The few people who actually figured out the hidden message on the website reported to have serious psychological damage. I really don't know much more about the site, but it's definitely worth mentioning. Number 2, the Deep Web Radio. This website is definitely creepy to say the least. It's an entire radio station on the dark web. It just seems very odd to me that this even exists in the first place. Why would someone even want to use this? Number 1, chatting with strangers on the dark web. By now, you've probably seen my videos on this, but this is by far the scariest website of all. This website is very much like Omegle, but just the chat version. It will match you up with a complete random stranger from the dark web. Sometimes you'll run across people who are super friendly, and sometimes you'll run across somebody you wish you never would have. Using this website, it is very crucial to not click any links that the other person sends you. The only reason I do it is because I do extensive research on each link I go to before I use it. One wrong click could lead you in prison. If you want to see more scary stories on the dark web, click the link in my bio to download the app called Yarn. Yarn is an interactive app that
No, thank you.
Yeah, whatever that is. Okay,
No, thanks.
So
That guy
there was
has balls.
5 there was 5 different things.
Yeah.
I just want to reference them. So
Yeah.
the first one was the Hitman, which we already spoke about. Like we talked about.
That's crazy that
'cause
he
I've heard-
said he doesn't put the other one up because TikTok just takes them down in 5 minutes.
So apparently like 5 to 20,000. And he said he thought it would be more, but the fact that that exists.
Definitely thought it would be a lot more too.
Yeah, the fact that that exists on the dark web is insane. That you could just hire a hitman.
I think things are a lot worse than that though. Like anything to do with children or animals, like people pay to watch. Oh, I can't.
Well,
I
they're
can't.
all
That's
terrible.
worse than Hitman. I don't.
Yeah, they're all bad.
Yeah.
Like you got someone if you're killing someone, if you're hurting a child, you're hurting an animal. Like they're all bad in their own way. They're all terrible.
Yeah.
They're all disgusting. I'm not ranking them. Like they're just
No.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
The one about the clean record, like where it can clean your record, like that's whatever. But then he made a really good point about purchasing
record
what is it?
or a college
diploma?
degree.
Yeah, degrees, diplomas.
Yeah. Then how do you know your doctor or whoever is really qualified?
Yeah,
That's
you're about to go get
insane.
surgery, and how do you know that plaque hanging on the doctor's wall in his office is legit? That is crazy.
And even to wipe out records, you know? What if you are like, you know, whatever?
Also, it could be a doctor that had a bad record that couldn't get a job and then got it clean, and now he's back on board. Then we have the hidden message, which I don't know what that was. I don't know if you know. I don't know if he mentioned the website. I'll look, and if he does, I don't remember if he did. The radio, that's just weird. It's almost like
like what are you guys listening to?
Yeah, is like radio. My mind went to like radio, like police radio, like the. But
Or
it was
like
it was
just
music.
weird. I don't think it's music. I think it's
I was thinking
more
like talking,
twisted stuff.
Yeah, like radio talking. And
Either talking or recordings and stuff.
And then the random chat. That is probably
Why would someone want to do that? I don't know.
They have like the random chat rooms on what they call the clear net or whatever, like the one that we access.
Yeah, back in the day.
And you still get weird folks every once in a while.
Yeah.
Imagine on the dark web, like.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to like on AOL,
Yeah,
you'd go
me
into like
too.
chat
Yeah.
rooms. But like thinking about it now, I'm like, that was not. I don't know.
But it was so different because there was not. I don't know. Like there honestly weren't as many creeps and things, or it didn't seem like it.
No,
I
maybe
feel like
we
the
were
world
just more
evolved.
naive then. I think we were more naive.
I think the world evolved and we got worse as technology got worse.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it was as bad then.
I think it was bad. I think it wasn't as accessible. Maybe.
It
I think what you're
wasn't
saying.
as accessible, but I don't think because.
But think about all like those crazy serial killers that are all like in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
You don't really hear about them.
But none of it was
now.
online. That's what I'm saying. When it came to online, when
Yeah,
AOL
I
first
know
came
what
out
you're
online,
saying.
I think it was safer. Even if you were like a random person online, most people were like, "Oh, this is so cool," and they engaged normally.
Yeah.
In time, the bad folks
yeah,
started
I get what you're
realizing
saying.
how they can use it.
Use the internet for bad.
Yes, and I think it just kept getting worse and worse. Not that it was like perfect from the beginning. I just think it got
I
worse
agree
over
with what
time.
you're saying. Yeah.
Let's see what else we got.
Here's 3 reasons why you should never visit the dark web. The dark web is the part of the internet that isn't available on search engines such as Google. Government agencies say it's a heaven for criminal activity. You may see things that you can't ever forget. Some people have had to have therapy after accidentally clicking on the wrong links, damaging their psychological state forever. You can easily get hacked. If you don't know how to properly use the dark web, then your identity can be exposed to both the criminals and the police. In the UK in 2017, there were 1,210 drug busts related to the dark web. Terrorism. Anti-terrorism authorities have uncovered multiple instances of terrorist groups using the dark web to coordinate their actions. Stay safe.
Wow, yeah, he was just kind of going over
All of it.
Yeah, random things. I know they said there was like however many drug busts. You're not safe on there, obviously. I know you're like anonymous, but the fact
I
is,
wouldn't want to ever go on there.
although like you're technically anonymous, you're probably with 90% hackers.
Yeah.
And if you're just like a regular person, it's like, ooh, I want to check out.
Like
the
I'm
dark
curious,
web.
you know. I'm not curious, but if someone
still
were
not
to be
safe.
and just get on there, yeah, they're not safe.
I would think you're probably still not safe unless.
It could be set up. I don't know.
Yeah, like he said, don't. Was it the other guy or him? Like, don't click any link. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
probably
the
all
other guy said
yeah.
that.
It's like it's probably easy to virus or just hack your computer and all that stuff.
I'm sure that's also how they, hack into the cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
Like in laptops and computers.
They need access, and I'm sure doing it through the dark web is much easier because on the surface level,
I
like
think
Apple is great when
they
it
can
comes
hack
against viruses.
into, innocent computers too. Actually,
I'm sure they
so.
could, but I'm just saying through, like you said, through the dark web, it's easier for
Definitely.
them to get into your system. I would think. I don't know.
It's no longer up, but it was rapy.co. So I see this website and I see the content in these screenshots that my friend's wife sent me. She doesn't know anything about computers, but she has kids herself, and she was like, can you do something about this? One of them was talking about a mother that wanted to have kids and then have the kids be so that when the kids grew up that they could, you know, have incest and go even further. I mean, I'll pull up the screenshots because I'd like to explain like where my head was at that time. But as soon as I read these messages, switch flipped in my brain and I left my friend's house immediately as I got the text. I went home, I found a vulnerability in their platform, I got in, and from that point on, I started to exfiltrate the data every single day, all of the users. I noticed that a lot of people were soliciting child on the site.
Yeah, so that's a perfect example. That was the guy earlier that I was referencing, that he's like a ethical hacker turned good or whatever. That website is disgusting. Obviously, it's right in the name. It's disgusting.
The first story of the mother that, whatever, I can't even say it. That's just so twisted.
I just can't believe how many twisted people there are. It's not surprising because of all the stories we've heard of. But there are just so many twisted people in this world. And there needs to be more of him.
Yeah.
Like, I wish when I was younger, I learned how to hack and do all this stuff. And then we could put it on our YouTube over here and be like, we're taking this down, we're taking that down, we're doing this and doing that. Oh. It's just crazy because we hear of all the stories on the news. Like, I don't watch the news much. It's all negative, to be honest. Yeah. It's just me personally. I just don't watch it much. If you know, I go online, so if there's articles or whatever, we're up to date with stuff.
Breaking news on YouTube and stuff like that.
But I don't like sit there and watch the news. Yeah. But the point is, like, we hear of so much negativity and crazy things going on in this world. Just think about what percentage that actually is compared to what we don't know.
Yeah.
The stuff that's going on
a lot of what the news feeds us is, you know,
propaganda.
Yeah, it's all political and, like, you know,
but
not even true. There are so
probably. Much, and then just the thought of what we don't
don't see.
What we don't see. What's
There's
on
a
the
lot
dark,
what we don't see.
Which is insane. Like, that's why, like she said, the news, political stuff, that's why I don't watch it. It's all it's all crazy stuff.
There's so much that we don't see, you know what I mean? Like, and it's crazy.
But like strictly to, like you said, murderers, this, that, all those crazy stories. There could be a whole nother news channel about what is going on the dark web if they could access it and find it. Yeah, that was the last video for this episode. It's our first time doing video on the dark web, deep web, whatever you want to call it. I want to do more research on it. Yeah. So we're probably going to come back with more. If
YouTube shows it.
I'm going to do some research. If you guys have more input or videos, we'll have our Instagram in the link in our description. Mm-hmm. You can send us some content to react to. And if you know more info from anything that me or her said, correct us, fill us in, let us know about the dark web if you know more about it.
This episode is a little bit more serious than our usual stuff, just because I feel like, you know, when we do
even when
conspiracy
scary,
theories
like
or paranormal, it's like, you don't know if it's real or not. Like things like this where it's like, or even serial killer stuff or this stuff, like it's real, it's happening, and it's almost a little bit more intense to
it's
go
more
over.
Of like an emotional thing.
I don't even really know what to say.
Yeah,
you know?
Because like we do like the scary video reactions, and a lot of them were like, are they real? Are they not? Paranormal stuff, and it's just like freaky in the mind thinking about it. But then most of these are like, wow, like you heard that guy. He's literally giving you firsthand experience on what he had to do, what he found, what he's doing to fix things. And it's just crazy that that stuff exists.
Yeah.
But
sad.
Yeah. That's it for this video. If you're interested in more content, subscribe, drop a comment, give it a like, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye.